Hi, I'm Andreas Apitz. With this video, I'd like to start a series on music theory basics. I will introduce the natural note series as the basis of major and minor tonalities. Western music is based on the so-called natural note series or natural note scale. On the piano keyboard, this scale corresponds to the white keys. If we just see the front part of the keyboard, we don't have a clue how to orient ourselves as every key looks the same. I'd like to try an experiment. I will start at a random key and play an ascending scale and let our ears tell us if any of the notes feels like home or center. Did you also feel like I stopped just a bit too early with my ascending scale? Like one step from home? I'll do it again. Here it is. Did you also notice we went past a certain note in the middle of the scale I played that felt somewhat special too? Let's see if our ears can find home in a descending scale too, starting on a random note again. Did I stop playing too early again? Did you also feel we went past another home note around halfway down? If we look at all the home notes we found, we can see that they occur every 7 steps in the scale. As our ears can find home while our eyes can't, there must be some audible characteristics in the natural note series. If we now look at the keyboard as a whole, our eyes can also find their way by the specific twin-triplet pattern of the black keys. We can tell that the key that sounded like home to us lies on the left side of the black twins. The name of this note is C. The names of the other notes in the natural note series are: above C, it's D, and E, F, and G. And below C there are B and A. the first 7 letters of the alphabet in ascending direction. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. In the adjacent registers, the key pattern repeats, and so does the naming of the notes and keys. Above G, there's another A. And if I compare this A to that one, I would say they are the same but higher or lower. The interval between these two A's is called an octave. From the Latin word for eighth interval, between the first and the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth note in the scale. After A, there's another B, and from one B to the other, there's another octave. And so on. Now one could interpose, if we could easily identify the note C as the center of the natural note series, why then has it been named C, the third letter in the alphabet, rather than A, the first letter? I'll get to this in a minute. The specific pattern of the black keys is a result of the fact that there are 2 spots in the natural note scale where adjacent notes are closer to each other in pitch or frequency than all the others. The notes E and F, as well as B and C. These are the spots where the black keys in between seem to have been forgotten. This gets obvious if we take a look at the rear part of the keyboard. In these spots, the distance in pitch between the 2 adjacent notes is only half as big as between all the other ones. My personal term for these 2 specific spots in the natural note series is narrows. The official term is half step, while between all the other notes there are whole steps. I'd like to contrast the natural note scale with its 2 narrows with a symmetrical scale made of whole steps only. This one, to me, has a floating quality. I could stop anywhere without finding a place like home. Now I'll come back to the natural note scale and to the question why the note C hadn't been named A in the first place. The answer is, perceiving C as home in the natural note scale is not the only way. It's just the way in which we are trained to perceive by most of the music we listen to. However, there's another way of perceiving the scale which is nearly as common to us. To demonstrate this, I wrote 2 little melodies. Here it is again, accompanied by a second part. This one is clearly related to the note C as the center or root. At the end we feel at home on this note C. Here's another one. and again with accompaniment. This one is different. Although we use the same notes, even the same range, we now feel at home on A as the root. I would state the first melody is in the key of C major, while the second one is in the key of A minor. Another statement is, the natural note series regarded from C as its root is called the C major scale. And another one. The natural note series regarded from A as its root is called the A minor scale. In fact, in the history of Western music, there have been other ways to perceive the natural note series. The church modes of medieval sacral music preferred several other notes in the series as roots for their melodies. The dualism of major-minor tonality evolved in the 16th century and has been the basis for our perception of music despite all the developments and achievements to this day. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate your likes, comments and subscriptions to my channel. Bye. See you next time.